Are you looking to invest in Playa del Carmen, but you're not quite sure which is your best option? Also, which neighborhood should you invest in? Does the neighborhood have an impact on whether you should do long-term or short-term rentals? And also, is there a good deal right now in Playa del Carmen? If you asked yourself any of these questions, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to take a walk through an exclusive neighborhood that lends itself to long-term rentals. I'm going to take you to a development that is completed by a developer that is about to launch. Hasn't launched yet, it's launching in April, but is going to launch a brand new development. And why is this important? Because the price from which you can get into a pre-sale dictates and has a big impact on the percentage of ROI. So we're gonna do all this on this video. Follow me, let's go have some fun. All right, so as I mentioned before, we're in Playacar Phase 2. What is Playacar Phase 2? It's an exclusive neighborhood built around a golf course. 24-hour security, and the security is very, very strict. You need a QR code to get in here. Why is that important? Because security. This neighborhood is beautifully maintained, lots of trees, individual homes, and obviously some beautiful condominium projects. This neighborhood is we would say, the suburb of downtown Playa del Carmen, which lends itself, as I mentioned, to long-term rentals. And the rental rate here is quite high. We are in a development right now that has been completed by the same developer from which I'm going to discuss a new development that they're about to launch in April, just down the street. We're gonna take a look at this development so you can get an idea of what to expect in the new development, the amenities, the pools, and also the finishings. It's very high-end. So let's go have some fun. Let's take a walk around. All right, so we just checked out some of the amenities, the pool, the gardens, the hammocks, the garden area for the kids. This is an example of what you can expect in this new development. Now we're inside one of the ground floor units, very similar to what you're going to see in this new development, a ground floor unit that is double height ceiling with the second bedroom being upstairs. The new units will be approximately 71 square meters, which for those of you who aren't on the metric system, it is about almost 800 square feet. So we are going to talk about why these units rent more long-term in this community. This is a gated community, like I mentioned, which is very high in security, safety, and the streets are so beautifully maintained that it really does lend itself to families that want to live here, or even couples, and people who want to be away from the downtown buzz, live in a gated community where they can just walk out, take a walk, enjoy the greenery. It's very quiet. Golf lovers want to play golf. So this is more of a long-term rental market. There are some short-term rentals here. However, for those who want to invest, this is perfect to rent to a long-term renter that is paying for a two-bedroom unit minimum around 50,000 pesos a month, which is approximately $3,000 per month. So this is what we're looking at. This is what you can expect. The finishings are amazing. Like I said, double height ceiling, so you don't feel like you're in a small unit. It really is a spectacular development, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about the ROI and how the entry price affects your ROI. Let's go. So we took a look at the gym, which, by the way, in 100 projects here in Playa del Carmen or in the Mayan Riviera, you don't usually see a gym that size. You can expect a gym that's similar in this new development. We went through the co-working space, which is really important for digital nomads or any of you who want to stay in the unit and are a little tired of being indoors and you want to go somewhere outside of your unit, so you have a co-working space, or if you want to have meetings. So all of these amenities are what you can expect in a new development. Now, what I wanted to touch on was the rent. Like I mentioned before, this is more of a long-term rental type of neighborhood. What can you get for a 2-bedroom in this neighborhood with these kind of finishings and these amenities? In my opinion, minimum 50,000 pesos a month, which is around $3,000 per month. If you were to do an annual ROI based on 3,000, you're looking at $36,000 in 1 year. Now, obviously there's some expenses, but here's the difference. When you're doing short-term rental, all of the expenses are on the owner, electricity, maintenance, everything. When you are doing long-term, the actual renter or your tenant pays their electricity, they can pay the Wi-Fi, they'll pay the water, they can pay a lot of the utilities, which leaves the owner only having to pay the HOA, their property tax, and if you're a foreigner, obviously your trust, your bank trust, which costs about $50 a month. So the expenses are quite a bit different when you do short-term versus long-term. So as a long-term strategy, from $36,000 in an annual revenue, gross revenue, if you were to take some of the expenses, and I'm just going to use the number of 30%, you're going to be left with just over $26,000, let's say. The important thing here is not to really pay too much attention to the expenses. My point here is to show the difference and the impact of when you buy a condo and invest in a condo at $360,000 versus $260,000, how that changes your ROI. Why is this important? Right next door to this development, we have a brand new development that's being built at this moment. And a 2-bedroom is going for 6.2 million pesos, which is around $363,000. And in the new development that I want to show you and that I'm sharing with you today, you can get into a 2-bedroom for $263,000. That's a $100,000 difference. That is a difference of 9.5% return or a 6.9% return. 2.5 to 3% difference. That is huge. And that's why if you are looking, as I mentioned before, for what is the best option right now in Playa, if you want to do long-term rentals, this new development that's about to launch in April is an excellent option. All right, so we are finished our tour of Playacar. We saw Playacar and what it is and what it has to offer. We saw a development that's already finished and from the developer that is about to launch a new development in April. So you can get an idea of the amenities and some of the way this developer is designing and the architecture and so on, so you can see what you can expect in the future. Now, we talked about long-term rental and we talked about how the entry cost, the price of which you can get into a unit today, how it affects your ROI. If you are interested in getting into this development, since it hasn't already launched, there's only one thing you can do is to be put on the waiting list. How do you do that? It's simple. 100,000 pesos or $5,000 to get put onto the waiting list. All you need to do is click the link below in the description. I can get you all the information, I can get you the price list, and we can go to the next step. If you like this content and you would like to see more, whether it's here in Playa, whether it's Tulum, Cancun, or anywhere in the Mayan Riviera, please click the like button, subscribe, and we'll definitely continue doing more videos, and we'll see you on the next one.